Welcome to Mystery Dome TV, where darkness breathes and every secret drips in blood. Tonight, we dive into the heart of New Orleans, beneath the jazz, the bourbon, and the Mardi Gras masks, where something unspeakable hid behind the code name. 101, the abandoned precinct in a deserted police station, flickering lights, paper files rotting on desks. They called it the 9th Ward Precinct, shut down after a case so dark the department erased it from public record. Only one phrase was left on the final report: Code 101, Deadly Protocol. Detective Raymond Cole, 48, once a respected homicide investigator, now a broken man, walked those empty halls again. He had received an anonymous message on his burner phone. No number, no trace, just one line. They're waking up the protocol. Find the body in locker 13 before midnight. Cole's hand trembled as he entered the evidence room. The city's humidity pressed heavy, the air thick with decay. Locker 13 creaked open. Inside was a body bag, fresh, dripping. He unzips it. A woman's corpse, eyes wide open. Skin etched with symbols that glowed faintly under the flickering fluorescent lights. She wasn't registered. No record, no fingerprint match, but those symbols. They belonged to something ancient, something the Force once swore never to mention again. Cole stumbles upon a labeled VHS cassette, Protocol Footage 101. He plays it. On the grainy screen, officers in hazmat suits stood around a restrained man in a steel chair. The man screamed, his body convulsing, eyes bleeding black. A voice behind the camera repeated, "Initiate protocol sequence, begin transfer." Suddenly, the man's head jerked back, his mouth stretching unnaturally wide, and something like smoke made of screams poured out. The officers fell one by one, their shadows twisting into monstrous shapes. Then, static. Then, the date stamp, October 31st, 2001. Cole's heart froze. That was the same day his partner disappeared. Phone buzzes again. Message flashes. Too late. It's already inside the city. Cole's breathing quickened. He looked at the corpse again. The faint symbols had begun to move, rearranging themselves like living text. A whisper slithered from her mouth. "Detective Cole, you broke the seal." He stumbled backward. The air temperature dropped instantly. A dark shadow moved along the ceiling, mimicking his every step. In New Orleans, secrets rot faster than bodies. And tonight, Detective Cole had opened one buried beneath to decades of silence. A car alarm wailed outside. He ran to the window. Across the street, a black SUV, engine running. Inside, a masked figure watched him through the rain. Cole aimed his gun, but before he could blink, the figure vanished. And from the radio on the desk, a distorted police voice crackled through static. "All units, be advised. Code 101 has been reactivated. The last time Code 101 was invoked. 57 people vanished overnight. None were found. And tonight, the countdown had begun again. Sound of a thunderstorm rumbling, rain lashing against a window. The beam of my flashlight cuts through the oppressive dark of the old precinct. They called me in on a Code 101. An officer needs assistance call, but not just any officer. This one came from a deadline, from a precinct that's been shuttered for 20 years. The air in here is thick, heavy, tasting of dust and decay. Rainwater snakes down the walls, tracing paths through decades of grime. Every flicker of the ancient fluorescent lights plays tricks on the eyes, making shadows dance and twist into things they shouldn't be. This place, it breathes. You can feel it, a cold weight pressing down, the kind of chill that has nothing to do with the storm raging outside. My boots echo on the cracked linoleum, the only sound besides the storm and the frantic thumping of my own heart. They say this place is haunted by the cases that were never solved, the stories that never found their ending. Tonight, I feel like I'm about to become one of them. Then, I see her, laid out on a dusty, overturned desk. The beam finds her first, a stark white figure in the gloom. Pale skin, almost translucent, long black hair fanned out like spilled ink. But it's the symbols that make the breath catch in my throat. Faint, glowing patterns etched into her skin, pulsing with a soft, sickly light. I've seen my share of strange things in New Orleans, but this is different. This is ancient. Her eyes are wide open, frozen in a look of sheer, unadulterated horror, as if she saw the very fabric of reality tear open right before the end. The symbols, they're not just on her. They're carved into the desk, the floor, the walls around her. A protocol, a ritual. The air crackles, the scent of ozone mixing with the dampness. My flashlight beam wavers as it moves from her face to a tarnished nameplate on the desk. It reads Detective Raymond Cole. My name, my desk. This isn't just a case. It's a message, a warning. And I've just walked right into the middle of it. The storm outside roars, and for the first time in a long time, I'm truly afraid of what's lurking in the dark. Cole drags the corpse from locker 13 into the morgue, desperate for answers. He notices a faint tattoo under her wrist, coordinates, and below them, a single Latin word, revixit. She has returned. Cole wipes sweat from his brow. He hacks into the old precinct database, searching Protocol 101. A classified report flashes open. Project Origin 1999. Objective: transfer consciousness of executed inmates into containment vessels for interrogation beyond death. Result: catastrophic. All survivors terminated. Facility sealed. Cole's eyes widen. The city had tried to weaponize the dead. The power flickers. The corpse's mouth twitches open again, this time speaking clearly, voice layered with static and screams. They made us watchers of the living. Cole stumbles backward, gun drawn. Suddenly, the morgue lights turn blood red. Every metal drawer begins sliding open, bodies twitching, eyes glowing faintly beneath the skin, and for the first time in 20 years, the dead in New Orleans began to whisper. In unison, the coordinates lead Cole to a derelict underground facility by the river. Chains hang from the ceiling. The air hums with low-frequency vibrations. Graffiti on the wall reads, Code 101, do not reboot. Cole records a final message on his recorder. This is Detective Raymond Cole. If you're hearing this, the protocol was never meant to protect us. It was designed to replace us. He steps into a chamber filled with rusted pods. Each pod holds a human shape, some decayed, others twitching. A computer terminal still runs, screen cracked but alive. Status: reboot complete. Host transfer initiating. A distorted voice from the intercom. Same voice from the old VHS tape. Welcome back, Detective. You were the final key. Cole's vision blurs. His own shadow begins to detach from him, rising like a dark mist. His face contorts in pain as his body jerks violently. The monitor flickers. Transfer successful. His shadow turns toward the camera, smiling with black eyes. They say New Orleans has more ghosts than graves. But after that night, something worse walked among the living. Something wearing Detective Cole's face. News audio plays faintly over static. Authorities report unexplained power surges across the city. The 9th Ward precinct mysteriously caught fire at midnight. No survivors confirmed. A man stands at the edge of the burning station, silhouetted by flames. It's Cole, or what's left of him. He stares into the camera. Code 101 wasn't just a protocol, it was a prophecy. His voice distorts, echoing multiple tones, human and inhuman. And as the smoke rose over New Orleans, the city understood too late, you can't contain the dead when the living are already rotting inside. This was Code 101, the deadly protocol. You've been watching Mystery Dome TV, where every secret eventually digs itself out. The rain hasn't let up for 3 days. It's the kind of thick, New Orleans downpour that soaks right through to your bones, turning the city into a hazy reflection of its own ghost. They called me in on my night off, another weird one. The old precinct on Dauphine Street, a place we abandoned years ago, now the stage for a grim play. Flickering fluorescent lights fight a losing battle against the encroaching darkness, casting long, dancing shadows. The air is thick, humid, heavy with the smell of decay and ozone from the storm outside. My flashlight beam cuts through the gloom, dust motes swirling like frantic spirits. And then I see her. She's laid out on the cold, tiled floor. Young, maybe mid-20s. Her skin is unnervingly pale, almost translucent, and her long black hair pools around her head like spilled ink. But it's her expression that freezes me. Pure, unadulterated horror, eyes wide open, locked on something unseen. It's a look I've seen before, but never this absolute. As I get closer, my light catches something on her skin. Faint symbols, almost invisible, are glowing with a soft, ethereal light. They're etched onto her arms, her neck, forming intricate patterns that seem to shift and writhe in the dim light. They aren't tattoos. It's like the code is part of her, radiating from within. My partner, a rookie named Evans, is by the doorway, looking green. "What do you make of it, detective?" he asks, his voice shaky. I crouch down, careful not to disturb anything. I make of it that someone's mixing old magic with new tech. I mutter, my breath fogging in the cool air. The scar above my eye tingles, an old habit when things get strange. These symbols, they look like a programming language, but ancient, twisted, a deadly protocol. The storm outside cracks, a whip of thunder, and for a second, the lights in the precinct die completely. In the pitch black, the symbols on her body flare brightly, illuminating her terrified face. They're not just markings, they're a message, a warning. And I have a sinking feeling that this victim isn't the last one on the list. The killer isn't just leaving a signature. They're running a program, and we have to crack the code before it executes again. This is just the beginning of a rabbit hole that goes deeper than I can imagine. If you want to see how we unravel this deadly protocol, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what happens next. Thanks for watching.